Hello, Mr. Nygren here. Hello, Mr. Nygren here. Welcome back to Hyrule Total War Class Ultimate. I summon för en day of Nephilim's mod, Hyrule Total War. Lower the music. Alright, so we are trying out a new script. We'll attack the Twilight here. Ah, yeah, they spawned an entire army. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. We have a full-sized army. We will attack. So they had like 6 units here, but after we besieged it, laid siege to the area of Arbiter Grounds, they spawned an entire army. This is necessary because the forces of the Twilight under Midna in the past, see, there is a portal here, and in the older version of the game, I believe when Midna wins the civil war, we're here between the two Twilight factions. Then about 20 turns after the portal has been created, because immediately when the portal is created it arrives here, and you get a message, depending, no matter what faction you play as, you still get the message that the interlopers have reassembled the mirror to the Twilight realm and will invade. Okay, and 20 or so turns later, it's between 20 to 30 turns, I believe. Between 20 or 40 turns. I believe sometimes at about turn 27, turn 31, turn 42. So yeah, between turn 27 and turn 42, I believe, you get an invasion of Lina City from Sant, actually the loser of the Civil War. I made him spawn here and invade Lina City. But Midna, she would instead go through the portal, and her troops would end up here, and just stand here at the portal. And sometimes they would move, and then they would end up stuck here because they are trying to go back to the Twilight realm, which they can't do. So in this mod, and in Medieval 2 overall, factions need settlements on each continent, or they won't do anything. The game can feel that Midna has settlements here, so it's trying to go back there by land, which is impossible, so they would end up stuck in this area actually. I'm a bit surprised though that the spawn has already happened. As an unintended consequence of giving Midna Arbiter Grounds, I believe that made heroes of the spawn when the portal was created. Okay, I will need to do I was gonna do changes to the Sant faction too. Haven't really done any changes there yet, but the change will be that they won't spawn these heroes: Argok the Dragon, Lady Meade the Cunning, etc., and King Sant. By the way, this is King Sant's model on the map. Never seen it before. So I can see that their models work now too. But yeah, we will change their script, so if any of these characters are still alive in this area, then they won't spawn. So previously they wouldn't spawn because I believe the portal could only be built in this area. I believe the Garrison needed to take Arbiter Grounds in order to have it constructed. If anyone else took it, or if it was held by the rebels, then it wouldn't exist in Hyrule. So the Garrison needed to take it from the rebels, and then also the civil war needed to be finished before any of the Twilight factions could build it from Palace of Twilight. But because we let Midna start with the area now, they get the portal from the start, so the Garrison do not need to take it. Midna has it from the start, so it's available from the start. You don't even need to build it here. It will throw up here on turn 2. And previously you needed to win the civil war with one faction before you could build it here, and the Garrison needed to take it here, so it took quite a while before anyone had built the portal. And only after it has been built would the armies spawn and attack Lina City. And because Sant was defeated whenever Midna built the portal, because if Sant won the war and built the portal, his troops would just arrive at this area too, and that spawn wouldn't happen. But if Midna builds the portal, then Sand would spawn here, and because they didn't have any areas anymore, they would take Luna City and then try to hold it. But because Sand is not defeated here and is still holding Valran, his army here that spawn is trying to go back there by land. So I will change that script. They won't spawn. Characters won't spawn if there are still characters alive here. And also if they join Midna, they won't spawn either. Make sure that there won't be two of the same at once in the game. King Sand might still attack, but if Midna has any of his generals, they won't spawn. Okay, we don't want two of the same on the map. It didn't matter in the older release because Midna's troops would never do anything. So, for example, if Argorok the Dragon or Lady Midi or Dark Onyx were still alive in the Twilight realm, it didn't matter because they would never show up in Hyrule. So you would only have the invading parties in Hyrule. But now when we have Midna here with an area, they will spawn in the portal and then will reinforce here. So they can move out of the portal and then they can actually do something because they have an area here now. But I felt like they were too weak in Arbiter Grounds, so it's easy for one of the other factions like the Dogman Legion or the Gyarados to just take this area. So that's why I added a very weak garrison here, but whenever they lay siege, we have a garrison script spawning an entire army of Midna troops. We'll have something similar for Sand. I plan on giving Sandcrab Co here. They have very weak troops here, like one unit, but if it's under siege, they will spawn an entire army. Just to prevent the area from being taken easily, because we want the Sand troops to go there and then defend it. Yeah, they won't take Luna City, but in lore they came out of the tower here, the Black Tower, which was like a portal, and then they would fight the Labyrinthans until they left, and then they would go and fight the fairies. So. And in Hyrule Historia they spawned in either Morpholus or Sandcrab Co and helped the River Sora take down the Sora's domain, so it makes sense to give them one of these areas. Maybe Morpholus would be more lore accurate, but not sure. But I don't want them to border the Uka, an enemy of theirs. It's better to place them here. Okay. So the army has spawned. We have two armies. We don't need to fight the battle after all. Just wanted to know if it worked. We could start the battle. Yeah, I will need to change that Sand spawn script now, so they don't spawn immediately at the start of the game. Don't need a siege ram in this settlement. It has no gate or wall, you just need it to be able to start the battle. So we have two armies and they have one army. The militia of all the factions have been fixed, so they do not have the civilian animation anymore. They act like normal units now. You place them in. Yeah, this is the AI controlled army. We can't place them in any formations. They have the skills from formation. This army had archers, Dune archers, the best archers in the game. I improved the ice archers too. I made their range as long as the Dune archers because they were worse. They're supposed to be their elite archers. They are fewer in numbers but have cool ice projectiles. But they have shorter range, which made them worse than the Dune archers. I made the elite archers have the same range. Twinaroa here, unfortunately she's a little bit beneath the ground because the model is too large. And if she was an officer, she could use a unique animation, so she would look good, but she's the general here. I wanted all the heroes to be the generals, not officers, because if they are officers, one, we can't control them in using the immersion mode or third person mode, and two, they don't count as the generals. Then a generic general is the general, and she would just be some random dude in the unit. Okay, let's start the battle. We do not have the shootout stance for some reason. We do not see the portrait. I wanted to fix this issue, but it seemed more trouble than it was worth, because the mod has a lot of custom UI files. So for example, using the vanilla ones would just remove a lot of symbols from the end turn screen and such, and trying to edit the custom ones seemed more trouble than it was worth. So I accepted this issue. We won't have the portrait visible, and we won't have the shootout stance. The shootout stance was in the XML file, but it doesn't show up in the actual game for some reason. We have a lot of infantry. Can just charge the infantry. We have sorceresses, we need to be in loose formation. We also have some infantry. We have better stuff too. Yeah, they have lots of sorceresses and even soul nurses throwing stuff that explodes. They are like the grenadiers of the Libranians, but magic projectiles. They are very fast now too. They are as fast as the Libranian grenadiers were in the old version. That they are in the old version. They also have repentant, and they should have the avatars of Miora somewhere too. So like smaller giants, really dangerous. The only real dangerous units are the range units in this army. Maybe the avatars of Miora too. We're supposed to have avatars of Miora. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe they didn't spawn for some reason. Maybe they only spawn missing units. For example, there were 4 units in the beginning of the game. Then they recruited 2 units, I believe. So they had 6 units, and then they got. They were supposed to get an entire army. But because they already had 6 units, those 6 units were removed of the spawning army. I believe the avatars of Miora may have been 4 out of those units that were removed. We also are supposed to have spiders, cavalry, light cavalry, and they also are not here. So maybe they are recruited units. They had like 8 units recruited, so they lost a bunch of units. I'm gonna remove all their starting units except 1, so they won't have so many recruited by the time when Falcon invades. You know, I couldn't invade immediately. I needed to build up troops. I needed at least 1 full-sized army. Then I wanted some dune archers in the army too, and I had that, and had moved them to Twinaroa's army. Then I had also gotten enough infantry to have more than 1 army, so I had almost 2 armies. By that time they had recruited a bunch of units too. So they will only start with 1 unit. Let's change that, so they will get most of their troops from the spawning army and not have sucky infantry. So yeah, our troops are gonna get massacred. Allied troops are also moving in, sending out their soul nurses. Their best units didn't spawn. Their avatars of Miora, Giants, and their spiders form elephant cavalry. They are smaller spiders, but they'll count as siege engines, so they are really good. These guys are okay in melee, but they are really good from afar. Stupid of the AI to use them in melee. I was afraid they would use them to bombard our troops, but then they sent them in melee. Then we'll easily win to our numbers. Their sorceresses are dangerous because their range units can fire through walls here. Through the walls. Charge the range units. Another unit of soldiers has started to fire. The sorceresses, which we are afraid of. We are in loose formation, but we will lose a lot of troops here. We have a very good defensive position. Controlled the wrong army, we had no archers. Okay, fatigue does not use rate of fatigue for the soldiers. And Link, I believe, removed fatigue for the rest of the battle. They sent in the sorceresses in melee. The best move. AI send in their troops this way, which is good. In a unit of Ashen generals, they are few in numbers, but they are pretty good. Only 13. They will fight the Twili infantry. Basic infantry of the forces of the Twilight. This is an elite unit, but they are too few to win, I believe. He broke the sorceress, is very good. Need to charge before they start fire with the rest. Start to fire with the rest, yeah. We also have archers that can fire through the walls, above the walls. Yeah, the archers are really important to have in this battle. Sorceresses, they are really good when they hit. They can kill many in one shot. Penetrate enemy troops. And a very long range too. They take a longer time to fire than the soul nurses. So I would say the soul nurses are more effective. That's it. Going to be killing our generals, the one remaining. National generals. Too few to win there. You need to charge. AI sent it too low, or she might die. The leader of the faction. Fusion of the witches, common caught. So the Dune archers are firing and being fired. They fire back the Dune archers too. The soul nurses, they lost quite a few. They are very effective, very accurate. We're using the infantry as cannon fodder. Talking about cannon fodder, I believe I reduced the morale of some of the Tuki units. I don't know if the cannon fodders were touched, but I believe the Tuki slaves no longer have unlimited morale, or it's the opposite, that they do have unlimited morale and the cannon fodders do not. But I think it's the opposite, that the cannon fodders have unlimited morale still, while the Tuki slaves with armor and weapons do not have unlimited morale. Reason was that the cannon fodders have no weapons and armor and are given a shield and are supposed to just block the enemy who would be shot if they do not do it, so they should have unlimited morale. But the Tuki slaves, they have actual weapons and such, so they could actually defend themselves. They could also break lines and such. As they are armed, wouldn't just be shot from behind. This place is very difficult to take with infantry, and the defender has a lot of good ranged units, because there is so narrow pathways that we need to kill them before we can move inwards and attack the ones further inside, and yeah, they kill a lot of our troops before we can even break through the first lines. They've lost 27%, they lost 23%. Dune archers have still killed quite a few of their troops. Hey, I only sent in one unit. Enemy has sent one unit of Twilight infantry over here. Of course, this video is recorded after the long video at 11 hours 27 minutes, where I just let the AI play on the map, and it wasn't just the whole video. I believe there's a second part at a bunch of hours too, at least 5 hours. Okay, and I haven't processed them yet. It will take quite a long time to process them, probably the same length as the video, so 11 hours 37 minutes for the first one. For the second one, maybe 5 hours, something like that. This video is much shorter, it will be like 40 minutes, 50 minutes, like a normal video. So I might actually upload this one first, as it only takes like 40 minutes to process, and then upload. So yeah, this video is made after the other two long videos, but might be uploaded first due to being the shortest one. This is the only one with a battle in it. The other ones have auto-resolved battles. So the map is extremely stable. Okay, let's send in that general too, and this general. The other way. Kill their ranged units. The infantry. Kill 32%. They kill 28%. So yeah, without the avatars of Miura and the spiders, we can actually win. Despite them having really good range units, because they end up in melee most of the time. Okay, so yeah, they shouldn't have more than one unit at the start of the game, I think. So they get two spiders and avatars of Miura too. They didn't get them here. With those units we wouldn't have won, you see. The spiders are small and numerous, but they are still engines. They would have massacred our troops easily. They are not immortal by any means, but they would have won thanks to the spiders and the avatars of Miora, we can't kill them without the range units. Only the range units can kill them, I believe. Could be wrong. Maybe we can kill them with the infantry, but they are very, very strong, so they would have lost. So they didn't get their best units. The army here, the best Midna units, didn't allow any sand units to spawn from Midna here. Only the Midna troops. Oh, they sent out some repentance. They are infantry. The good infantry. Medium. Oh, they're heavy actually. And they should be better than our troops. Of course, Twinrova has a bodyguard fashion on generals too. I made a unit out of it. It's the same unit, but it's a bodyguard. It's good for us that they didn't have the avatars of Miora, Giants and spiders. For some reason our ally have gotten stuck. Let's click on them to attack again. Go into the Spirit Temple. Okay. So I will need to correct some stuff with the Midna spawn here. Then I will need to add Sandcrab Co to Sand with one unit and add a similar script to him. Make sure that it works, and after that fix any issues with the old spawn so they won't spawn if the same characters exist and such. It's good that King Sand worked with the model. So Prince Sand and King Sand have different models, and King Sand only shows up for the AI. Might change that. I might add a spawn so he shows up as the player too when he has won the Civil War. I don't know. Prince Sand character is connected to other scripts, so I might not do it. But at least we will change the script so they won't spawn in the beginning of the game, and if the same characters are still alive, they won't spawn. It's also kind of weird if Midna has killed them that they would show up again. So the reason maybe they were taken prisoner and released and banished to Hyrule, something like that. Anyway, we'll see what I will do. They only spawn as the AI anyway. It's fun to have more enemies in the campaign. See what the Twilight factions will do with the campaign. They won't take Luna City, the capital of Labrina, anymore. They will go to the Sandcrab Co area and hold it instead. Fight any of the neighbors there, like the Sora, Fairies, Huron, the Deku tribes, or Labrina. Instead of just ending up fighting Labrina, which is a faction with one of their generals, Bliveran, Great Vireveran, is a friend of Sand, so that secretly made a portal out of the tower and tricked Queen Ambi. So she is a part of Labrina, but secretly working for Sand, allowed Sand to invade. That's why they shouldn't really be fighting Labrina after they have spawned. Their real enemy is Veran's old enemy, the Fairies of Tarm. She wants revenge on the Fairies, who banished her to the Twilight realm. is using the forces of King Sand to take revenge, and used Ambi just so she could build a portal in their tower. Oh, they've sent in the bronze metals too, but I want them to move. Shouldn't just stand there. Bronze metals are very slow. They are strong. Only available from one area, unfortunately. From the Spirit Temple. I might make them available from all the areas that look like the Spirit Temple. Like this area, for example, is using the Spirit Temple settlement too. And two others. I mean, Hyrule has cavalry from all the Highland. Visrope, Sheikah, Odonian, Lanayuru and Garrison. It feels like Garrison might get heavy infantry from more places than one too. Previously, the Highlands only had cavalry from Lowland Ranch, but that was kind of boring. So yeah, heavy infantry for the Garrison should be a little bit more common from all the areas of the Spirit Temple, except maybe. Formation charge. Hardly have any range units now. Row is still alive. Only has one bodyguard remaining. Almost killed all the soul nurses. Good. Take them out. And attack their infantry. Here. We have some sorcerers still. Isn't good. Good. They sent out some sorceresses in melee. The remaining soul nurses. Killed 50%, lost 33%. Routes. ally to actually do something with attack. There's our reinforcements over here. Generally to get rid of the bodyguard, really good bodyguard. And then one with just a Marauder bodyguard, really bad one, worst unit in their army. Do not have the third person mode on. Okay, our ally seem to just stand here, despite us clicking on them to attack. Maybe they want to shoot out their arrows first. They do not have unlimited ammunition. They're probably waiting on the archers to fire their arrows. Oh, they have quite a few sorceresses here. 23. Kill them in melee. Or they can move back and start to fire. The Dunards just have a lot of ammo. Kill 52%, lost 33%. We had almost 2 armies. They had only 1. Their army was more elite. Wasted our basic infantry. By the way, the Marauders, the red swordsmen, swordswomen, they are worse than the glaive grounds. The glaive grounds are their like basic soldier, and the Marauders is like their militia. But I used the glaive grounds as the militia because in the official game Ocarina of Time they patrol with these guys, the glaive grounds, in their cities. They are the better unit. They are also good against cavalry, unlike the others. I believe the Marauders might be better against the infantry. You'd have his swords. I would say the glaive grounds are the better unit. They also have the skill from formation against the cavalry. Wrong path. Let them go the other way. To do this. Hurry up. While infantry can't experiment too, so they are similar to glaive grounds in that sense. Of course they had the wrong units selected. No, I didn't. Fuck. Attack. Okay. too laggy on fast forward. The right way now. Attack. Yeah, this is the worst bodyguard to carry down. This general fight first before we send in the other one. They are too good. Wasted. Fuck, they sent him in anyway. Seven remaining here. They're not doing anything over here. Attack. Okay, and these guys lost the attack. Owned rope. Just a lot of troops. It's the worst unit of Twilight faction. Worst infantry unit, but they are also used as the generic bodyguard for some reason. They are the most common one. Okay. Let's kill them. Here's their captain. Or it's the sorceress. I think it's the captain. Fast forward. Maybe not. It's a bit laggy. Noble deaths. Went to Sevilla. Lost one of the generals of our faction. Killed 83%, lost 37%. Yeah, without the spiders and the avatars of Miura, they couldn't win. He had the numbers after all. So now we know we need to not let let them have anything but one unit from the start if you want them to get the best stuff. Banner carrier. Here's another general. Right, you're clearly winning the battle. It's a matter of killing off their final units here. I don't want it to be easy to take Arbiter Grounds. So, yeah, we need to alter the script a bit. Maybe they won't get a bunch of infantry. Start with one unit of infantry and then we'll spawn the rest of the army, and most of the spawn will not be Twili infantry. They're supposed to be able to handle an invasion from the Dark Knight Legion, and they are OP, so need OP units to spawn. Right. %, lost, 96% enemies killed. Got almost half our force, entire army. Rova stayed behind, which is good. So only has one unit per bodyguard left. Usually the AI would sacrifice their heroes. The Dune archers are still firing. These guys didn't really enter, including the Daira Marauder mercenaries. Charge. Move their captain all the way over here. Only one unit remaining. Let a sorceress unit. Okay. Killed, 42% allies killed. Captain Corant died. You won the battle. Roa took the area. Someone still alive. Says 100%. Yeah, there's one guy still alive. Right, now we won battle. Clear victory. Marlborough had 2,507 Gyarados women, lost 1,591, 916 remaining, killed 166, 215 taken prisoner. Twin Row had 2,774 troops, lost 183, 2,491 remaining. They didn't do a lot, only their range units did any good. Okay, they killed 282, took 3 prisoner. Captain Corant had 1,709 Twili troops. Lost all of them, 0 remaining alive. Killed 2,135 of our troops. They killed way more than us, thanks to their ranged units. Alright, our Marauders and Garudadorf bodyguards did the best in the army. The Dune Archers did pretty well too. National Generals, they were only 13 and killed 33. Good. Alright, thank you for watching. I forgot I'm using the NVIDIA Shadow Play recorder, so I won't have to worry if it C3 or crashes the desktop. Then I won't lose anything anyway. Then the crash will be recorded too. Yeah. See and turn. I will enter the portal. I have to do another end turn. Yeah, the Twilight forces were too weak at Arbiter Grounds. They need the spiders and the avatars of Miura to spawn. Or they are not strong enough. This Sari over there. Some skeletons outside of a catalog shot. Held by the undead. Seems the Stalfos won the battle. Forced everyone back in the Band of Grow. Including Saria there. Went to the Twilight realm in Roa. Sand armies are stuck, of course. If you give them an area on the map, they would go there and defend it, of course. So they will get Sandcrab Cove, but I don't want them to spawn if the other Sand is still alive. Now it seems Midna has won in the Twilight realm. Taken Valran. So they might have killed Prince Sand. That doesn't mean that everyone is dead. Might be some heroes there that were still alive that joined Midna. Of course, Midna can't do anything in Hyrule now. Prince Sand is dead, okay. These troops turn into Midna troops then. I forgot, they turn into Midna troops. They still count as these troops, but they do not have their proper models. But this area we have Relidna, some others. Can't really see who is there. Just an army. Control Twili. You need to take control of the faction just to check who is alive or not. Cannon is taken all notch. Okay. Change their victory conditions. They need to take Mysium and all notch, the two other canyon areas that are held by rebels at the start. They need them to win. They also need the 3 ones that they start out with. We had a general here, Sorant. Here we have 2 soldiers, an army. Queen Midna is here. An army, General Relidna. An assassin actually. New assassin for the Midna faction. Solnar's assassin. Sant uses the shadow assassin instead. I have Una. Next to cunning. These guys have the issue with the generic generals again, including general without a name. Rook the dragon. Another general without a name. Yeah, there were 2. Olg. Midi. Okay. Sant wouldn't be able to get the model no matter what. Okay, but I don't want this army to spawn if Midna wins the war. They should only spawn if Sant wins. Okay. So we'll see how we'll fix this. Alright, we know that the scripted army works and such, and the AI sent in more assassins here. Okay, they wouldn't be able to move without the region here. We took the region. Okay, but we need to change the script so only 1 unit spawns for them, so they get better troops. And also we need to do changes to this script here. And we want them to have their custom models too when they join Midna. They shouldn't spawn if the other ones are alive. Okay, and Sant, we can't prevent King Sant from becoming a Midna general if they spawn prior to accepting the surrender. So, but we don't really want them to spawn that soon. We'll see what we'll do. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.